she was hating on the queen, Beyonce. So
I was not hating on Beyonce.
It kind of was hate.
No, it was not directed at all as hate.
What if everything you thought you knew about Beyoncé was a lie? For decades, Beyoncé has been celebrated as the ultimate icon of empowerment, talent, and success. But behind the polished performances and perfect image, there are whispers, ugly, persistent whispers, about what really fueled her rise to the top. From silent rivalries and betrayal to dark industry rumors that have never been fully addressed, this is the story they don't want you to hear. And it all starts with a song, Bow Down. When Beyoncé dropped Bow Down in 2013, it was supposed to be her moment of dominance. A bold anthem. A declaration of her throne. But the message? It hit differently, especially to the very women Beyoncé claimed to empower.
When the Bow Down record came out,
yeah, I love Beyonce.
And you was like, first it was all, let's have camaraderie as women, and I was
well,
Bow
the thing
Down.
is that I just, seen Beyonce a few times. She's always a very sweet girl. To me, that just wasn't her, you know what I mean?
Keyshia Cole was one of the first to clap back, accusing Beyoncé of hypocrisy. She wasn't alone. Suddenly, the R&B community and even some members of the BeyHive started asking questions. The backlash wasn't just petty internet drama. It exposed a deeper rift between Beyoncé and the very women she claimed to uplift.
Her thing, but I don't know, dude said she switched it up or something. If somebody says, I love you, but I hate you, that's not homage.
Keyshia wasn't just mad about a song. She felt betrayed. And what started as a musical disagreement quickly turned into something much darker. Bow Down didn't just ruffle feathers, it sparked a firestorm.
You and Beyonce are really close. Mm-hmm. And there was something about how Keyshia Cole complained that you weren't giving her any songs because of your relationship with Beyonce and how she sort of said something about Beyonce. Mm-hmm. Any truth in that?
Of course.
Beyonce had always positioned herself as a voice for women. Her music told girls to be strong, independent, and proud. But suddenly, she was demanding submission? Even some of her die-hard fans were shook. The shift in tone felt aggressive, arrogant, and maybe even revealing. Was this song a moment of raw truth, the real Beyoncé showing through the carefully polished surface? Brandy spoke up too. While she said she respected Beyoncé, she couldn't co-sign the song. It was a rare moment in pop culture when other A-listers dared to critique someone as untouchable as Queen Bee. But the heat didn't stop there. In fact, it was just getting started. While Beyoncé remained silent publicly, Rihanna wasn't one to hold her tongue. Just hours after Bow Down hit the airwaves, Rihanna posted a spicy Instagram story, a headline calling her the UK's Queen of Pop, followed by the caption, "How'd that feel down there on your knees?" No names were mentioned. But nobody missed the message. Rihanna had always played by her own rules. And unlike Beyoncé, who carefully curated her image, Rihanna leaned into chaos and unpredictability. The Navy, the name for Rihanna's fanbase, came to her defense immediately, firing shots at Beyoncé for coming after someone who had already dominated her own lane. It wasn't long before fans started dissecting every lyric, every tweet, every red carpet interaction between the two. Was Beyoncé throwing shade first? Or was she responding to something deeper? Because by this point, Rihanna had crossed into billionaire territory. And for someone who was once seen as Beyoncé's little sister in the industry, that power shift couldn't be ignored. But now we dive into the truly dark stuff. According to rumors that have resurfaced more than once, Beyoncé's rise wasn't just talent and hard work. Some allege that her father, Matthew Knowles, played a much more disturbing role in launching her career. Whispers claim Matthew was positioning Beyoncé in exchange for industry favors, setting up private meetings with powerful execs under questionable circumstances. Allegedly, this is how she caught the eye of a much older Jay-Z while still a teenager. None of this is confirmed. But the fact that these stories keep coming up again and again says something. Because as the industry changes, people are starting to question what really goes on behind the scenes and how far some parents might go to ensure their child becomes a star. Now here's where things get even murkier. First, Jay-Z looked like Beyoncé's ticket out. her way to take control of her career without Matthew's heavy hand. But according to several insiders, that power dynamic didn't really change, it just shifted. Some claim Jay didn't rescue Beyoncé. He replaced Matthew. There have been long-standing rumors that Jay kept Beyoncé under his thumb using substances. Former bodyguard Uncle Ron came forward, alleging that Jay introduced her to hard drugs to keep her dependent and compliant. He says he saw Jay personally give her substances before performances, keeping her just high enough to function but not enough to question anything. It's the kind of claim you'd want to dismiss outright. But when you look at Beyoncé's tightly controlled image, her limited public appearances, and the near-total silence surrounding her personal life, you start to wonder, is this the price of fame? The most shocking twist? According to an anonymous industry leak, Beyoncé has been planning a $500 million escape. A blind item claims she's ready to disappear completely, to stop making music, leave the country, and live in peace. But those around her won't let that happen. Why? 'Cause Beyoncé isn't just a star. She's a brand. A billion-dollar business. And if she walks away, the people who've built empires on her back lose everything. There was even footage from a recent award show where her bodyguard chased her down after she tried to exit the venue early, without security approval. Some fans believe that moment was real-time proof she was trying to run. And apparently, it wasn't the first time. Behind every performance, every glowing smile, and every carefully choreographed dance is a woman who might not be in control. Some fans believe Beyoncé is trapped in a system she can't escape. That she's been molded, managed, and manipulated for decades, and now she's just done. Depression, burnout, loss of identity. These are heavy words, but they're ones that even some insiders have started using when talking about Beyoncé behind the scenes. Her music may be the only place she can speak freely. But even then, how much is she really saying? People forget that Beyoncé met Jay-Z when she was just 18. He was nearly 30. Since then, she's had one partner, one collaborator, one anchor, through every phase of her adult life. When Jay cheated, she stayed. When Lemonade dropped, people expected a breakup. Instead, they released a joint album, went on tour, and pushed through. And maybe the reason why is simple. He's the only man she's ever known. Her entire career, her identity, has been built around their union. Walking away would mean rebuilding from scratch. Could you do that after 2 decades at the top? Are these just rumors? Bitter ex-friends throwing dirt on a powerful woman? Or are we finally seeing the cracks in an empire that's been bulletproof for far too long? Truth is, nobody knows for sure. But the number of people speaking out is growing. And what they're saying, it's not just messy, it's terrifying. What if Beyoncé isn't the boss we thought she was, but a puppet in someone else's game? What if her success story isn't a fairy tale, but a cautionary tale? And what happens if she finally decides to walk away? Let me know what you think. Are these rumors just noise? Or do you believe Beyoncé might be trapped in the very empire she helped build? Drop your thoughts in the comments.